It's a blessing to welcome on one of the top recruits in 2021, and now the newest member of Kentucky is now number three overall recruiting class, Daimion Collins. How you doing, man?
What's up?
Not much. Well, you just announced that you're heading out to Kentucky. Take this decision and how excited you are.
I'm really excited being able to go in, play for Coach Cal and all the rest of the guys. That's a pretty good team. They got a pretty good history, and I'm hoping to make it better.
This has been a long recruiting process for you. People have known you now for a long time, lots of offers, and you narrowed down to top five: Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Texas Tech. What one of those top five?
It's just all the school that, kept in touch with me. Then somewhere I see myself playing that, being able to, that fit my style of play, somewhere that had like great family atmosphere, great academics, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I picked my top five.
But that Kentucky offer came in a couple months ago, and we all know Kentucky comes in and obviously is a big offer for a lot of guys. What went through your mind, and how did Kentucky kind of win you over in such a short span?
When they first came, I was excited,
Mhm.
but what actually won me over how like they had the bubble and pretty much every player from Kentucky pretty much was the big guy on their team, doing what they need to do. So seeing how well developed they were, I think that he'd better do the same with me.
And that is something that is special. I think Coach Cal has a nice recruiting pitch now, seeing what the guys did in the bubble. Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, guards even like Jamal Murray, and the list goes on. How
Mm.
excited are you to get in that system and see what it can do with you?
I'm really excited because my long-term goal is to be in the league. So I think if anyone could do it, it's him.
Let's touch up on a couple of schools that were in the running for you. We see Texas, KU also had a guy that you're pretty close to, KJ. We see Oklahoma has Bijan, a couple of guys you've been playing with. How appealing would it have been to play with a guy that you've played at AU with, or just you kind of grew a great relationship with?
It would have been great to be able to play with either one of those guys. They're both really good players, and me and them, we're really good friends and stuff like that. So it would have been real good to play with them.
Who was the school or two that maybe were right in the running with you? Was it another school that was right next to Kentucky for you?
Yeah, the school right next to Kentucky was Oklahoma and Texas. If Kentucky wasn't in it, I'd still be trying to decide between those two because the relationship I have with both of them and both places, how I see myself going there. But, I had to pick what was best for me.
Coach Shaka Smart is known for being a great coach, but especially developing the big man as well. We see Miles Turner, Jared Allen, a lot of great big men. Was that something that was appealing to you?
Yeah, so that's one of the main things about Texas to me, knowing how he can get the bigs to the league and how he's been with the past bigs he has. So that played a big part in it.
Oklahoma, what'd you like about them?
Oklahoma, the main thing I liked about them is the relationship they took their time out to build with me. We had probably me and Oklahoma had the best relationship out of all of them. So basically, that's what played the big part in them.
We always know that Kentucky's going to put together an elite recruiting class, and they weren't having anyone commit yet like they usually do. Then they had Nolan commit about a month and a half ago, and now this past week, Bryce commits, Sky commits. Now you come in as well. What's it like seeing the way this team's coming together and these other pieces that you're going to be playing with?
I think it'd be pretty good. I see us being great together and hopefully winning the national championship.
Have you been able to talk to Bryce or Sky or any of the other guys yet?
Yeah, I talked to Bryce and Sky earlier this week.
And when you talk to them, what are they like personally? What's it like talking to them?
They're both pretty cool. They're just telling me that we'll be great together playing at Kentucky and how that I should come there and stuff.
Now, Sky is 2022. He has the potential of possibly reclassing. He's going to weigh those options down the road. But if he does join you guys in 2021, how much more special that make you guys class?
I think it'll make us real special because, Sky's a real good player. And I think that if he comes, we'll be able to win for sure.
Are there any of the guys now in 2021 that you guys are targeting or someone else you want to bring with you?
There's two guys we're trying to get to come is Hunter Silas and Jaden Hardy.
We saw Jaden Hardy play for the first time this year in the Border League. We know he's capable of doing scoring wise. Hunter South is a little more underrated, but he also has a special talent. If those two guys decided to commit to the Wildcats. What could you guys accomplish together?
I think we're better do it. I think we're better win a national championship then because, both of those kids are real good players.
You mentioned the biggest goal for you is playing in the NBA someday, and there are a lot of great big men. You look at Anthony Davis, Nerlens Noel, Willie Cauley-Stein. That list goes on for a while. How do you separate yourself? How do you make a name for yourself in this historic, all-time great Kentucky program?
I mean, I think the way I make my name for myself is being who I am, like coming from a small town nobody really knows about to being an NBA All-Star. That would be a real great name for me.
There's so many different factors about each guy Coach Cal brings in. No two big men are really exactly alike. So what will you bring? What will you bring to Kentucky?
I think I bring like someone like a stretch forward, be able to play outside the perimeter, but then be able to post up at the same time, and then like can play defense, block shots real well. So I think that's what I'd be able to bring to it.
And you have an interesting approach in terms of your game. You're 6'10" range, but you're extremely athletic, probably more athletic than any big man in the entire country. How have you learned to use your length as well as your athleticism in games?
I mean, it really, it really just came to me. It's something that I was blessed with. It's really nothing that I just, I work on my footwork and body movement and stuff like that, but mostly it's something I was blessed with.
Has it set in yet? Have you started really with that processing that you're going to be a Kentucky Wildcat? You're going to be playing for Blue Blood, being coached by Coach Cal. Has it set in for you yet?
No, it hasn't really set in yet. I'm still, excited to be able to go play for Coach Cal and stuff like that. So I don't think it's set in yet.
So you have 1 year to get on campus. How do you plan to prepare for that? What do you want to add to your game to get you ready for campus?
I want to get my jump shot more consistent, my ball handling tighter, and being able to play at a higher tempo because, on the next level, it's a whole different thing from high school.
Being a part of Kentucky means that the goal is for you to go one and done. Spending 2 years is fine as well. We've seen some many great guys do that path as well. But knowing that your ultimate goal is NBA, how do you balance the academic and school wise, but also balancing getting ready for the NBA?
I mean, school comes first, so I'm going to have that down. And, being able to get ready all the after hours in the gym and stuff like that, go hard in practice, go hard in the workouts.
What does Coach Cal and the coaching staff want from you your freshman season?
They just want me to come in, give it my all, play hard when I get the chance to play.
Is there a player that they compare you to?
Coach Cal, he's always compared me to Anthony Davis since the first day I talked to him. That's what he tell me he compared me to. Yeah, and Marcus Camby.
And that is pretty high praise. When you're talking about a guy that's an NBA All-Star champion now, and you have the intangibles doing that. I think you're even more athletic than he is. You have the length, you have the skill. How do you become potentially the #1 overall pick and just become an NBA All-Star like he's become?
For me to become that, all I gotta do is just, keep my head on straight, keep working hard every day, and hopefully that'll be something in the future.
When that game does come and you put on that blue jersey, you go out there in front of one of the best fan sections in the entire world, what's going to go through your mind?
I mean, I'll be nervous, of course, but all I gotta do is just go out there, play how I know how to play hard every play, and I think I do fine.
You're going to be in the SEC, one of, if not the best conference in America. How excited to be a part of that?
I mean, it's real exciting because it's my dream to be able to play D1 ball anywhere. So being able to play in one of the best, that's really a accomplishment for me.
And you've grown up now playing the EYBL circuit and just playing high school basketball in general. And we know in today's world, you're connected to so many different guys that are elite players. Are there anyone that you're specifically excited to play against in college?
Uh, well, SEC, my homeboy Jackson, he goes to A&M, so it'd be pretty fun being able to play against him.
And that's going to be unique for you guys because you haven't been on playing against these guys because there wasn't a club season. There wasn't a lot of this happening this past year. When you do get on that court, then you get to play against a guy like Jackson or anyone else you know. How excited are you for those games and what would that be like?
I mean, I'd be real excited. It'd be crazy because being able to play in front of all the fans in a big stadium, then playing against somebody, it'd be real exciting.
And this has been a long process for you. You've been known for a while now, but you just look back all the way to the first day you got that first offer to now committing to Kentucky. What's your thoughts, and would you imagine telling yourself maybe 3 or 4 years ago that you were going to become a Wildcat someday?
Uh, Back then I probably wouldn't have said it, but I just kept wishing for the best, working hard, and I guess everything came to me.
When did you know? When did it set in for you and you knew that you could be a top player in this class and you're going to become one of the best players in the country?
Um, when I first started playing on the EYBL, knowing it was like one of the best circuits to play on, I went in and played good, and that's when I started knowing that I could be one of the best.
There is one thing. We saw you playing this past summer in some AAU games. We've seen you in some camps and showcases. You're not rocking the goggles anymore. Is that something you're going to grow away from now?
Yeah, probably so, because the goggles, that was a thing for me, but I had to go with the contacts to keep all the extra distractions away.
Living your whole life playing basketball with them on, is it kind of an adjusting period learning to play without them?
Yeah, it is really a adjusting period, having to, because sometimes you have to feel on your face to
Mhm.
make sure you're straight and stuff like that. And I still catch myself sometimes getting ready to feel on my face if they were straight, but it only be on. But yeah, it's really is a adjusting period.
No doubt. Well, let's get into your high school season. You have your final year left. You averaged 25 points last year, 13 rebounds, 7 blocks, 30-win season. What was last year like?
I mean, last year was real good being able to play with some of my friends. We have some seniors left, so now we have a pretty young team now. And so they're coming along pretty good, but I think we'll still have a pretty good season.
You mentioned a little bit earlier that you do live in a small area. It's not the biggest place in the world, and it's kind of a smaller district you kind of playing for basketball. But it's kind of growing up in this small town environment, knowing that you have not only just become a Division One player, but you made it out as a top level guy. How
Mhm.
special is that for your story?
I mean, that was real special because down here it's not a basketball place. It's really mostly football. So being able to make a name for myself and get out there and be one of the top players in the country, that's really special to me.
When you live in an area that doesn't have a lot of guys come out, what will it be like now being a role model for kids? Kids growing up that see you and say, I want to be like Daimion. I want to go to Kentucky or I want to go to the NBA someday. How do you look forward to becoming that role model in your community?
I mean, just telling them to keep working hard, stay humble, and wish for the best, and it all come to you.
Your final year now is a year that hopefully you get to have. Hopefully it goes as well. No COVID affects that. But what would be like a perfect scenario? What's all the accomplishments, awards, and things you want to get done in your senior year?
I want to be like my third year in a row winning MVP. Go win state. And, be a McDonald's All American. That's some of the things that I want to accomplish after my high school season.
Being a top level guy, I can already imagine the amount of prep schools and people that reached out to you. Did you ever have interest in that? Was that something you ever considered going to prep school?
I mean, I thought about it, but I've been here all my life, so why leave now?
And I respect that because a lot of people do like the prep school route. I think it is beneficial, it can help guys, but having that story where you can say, I played 4 years at a high school, I built a legacy there. Hopefully, your jersey retired someday. What's it
Mhm.
like still sticking to that old plan, kind of not going to the modern day, transferring and going to prep school route?
I mean, it was pretty good, like being here, everybody, I know everyone. I'm comfortable here. And, that's where I've been. Like I said, that's where I've been my whole life. So I ain't really just want to leave, just leave everybody behind and go to a prep. It wouldn't sit right with me.
We talked about athleticism earlier, and there was one body you had this past year that you posted. What was that dunk like?
I mean, it was unexpected, really. It was in the middle of a intense game, and then it was on a fast break. Then my teammate just threw it up to me. And, I didn't even know, dude, the other kid had ran out to jump with me until afterwards. But it was real. It was really intense.
People don't know who Daimion Collins is, they might think that was a guard pulling that off because big men typically do not get that high up in the air. When you jump and you're getting ready to throw down a dunk like that, what goes to your mind? How do you set that up?
I mean, it's just natural. I don't never just think about it. I just look at the rim, and then whatever happens after that happens.
Do you have a favorite in-game dunk you've had before?
Um, that one we're talking about is probably my favorite one.
Without a doubt. And you played for Team Griffin. It once again wasn't quite the year you wanted to have AAU wise. But why did you decide to originally go run with them and what was it like playing with Team Griffin?
I mean, when I was, coming, I wasn't on a circuit at first, and then I was pretty much open to any team. So I was just looking into teams, weighing my options, and I seen that Team Griffin would have a pretty decent team. So when I went there, it was just on from there.
That was the team that you guys won Peach Jam at last year. Playing with KJ, hits the game winner. You guys have just an incredible season. What was that
Mhm.
experience like and what was it like knowing that you're a Peach Jam champion?
I mean, it was pretty good because it's been my first year playing on the EYBL circuit and winning Peach, and I know it's some team that's been on there for years and haven't even won Peach yet. So that's really exciting to be able to do that.
If you guys did have an AAU season this year, what would you guys have been able to accomplish? You guys think you guys could have went back to back?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good chance to go back to back, but it would have been a challenge, but we were up for the challenge.
No doubt. A few more things before I let you go. One is, I believe you played football. I think you stopped your freshman season, and that was something that kind of ran the family. Your dad was a D1 recruit, chose to go work instead of playing. But what was football like?
I mean, football, it was fun. Football was my first love. I played it all the way real from when I was real little to my freshman year. And then really I didn't want to quit my freshman year, but I hit a major growth spurt and then I was like, I might as well just stick to basketball. But football is real fun. That's right now if I could still play, I would.
And that was a big growth spurt. I think you came into high school around 6'3" ish, but I think you made that big jump into now you're at 6'10", 6'11" range. What was that growth spurt like, and how'd you grow into that body?
I mean, it was, I wasn't even like I didn't even know I was that tall until like one of my cousins, he's 6'8", and we were standing beside each other. We were like right there with each other. So that's when I had like really noticed I was that tall. And then like being able to grow into it, I mean, it was natural. Like I said, I was just blessed to be able to just, fit my body like that, be able to move like I do and jump like I do.
You are in Texas, which is a state that I think is one of, if not the best states in the entire country. What's it like playing basketball out there?
I mean, it's real good. It's a lot of competition here in Texas. You go to Dallas, you got Harrison Ingram, Manny, Obaseki, and people like that. It's real like it is a lot of competition here, so it's real good playing up here.
What would you say would be your roster if you could put together like an 8 or 10 man roster of guys from Texas? Who makes your team?
Uh, like I said, Manny, Harrison, and you got Terrio, we got Wade, CJ, we got KJ, Kason Wallace, we got um it's a lot of people. I can't name all of them, but it's a lot of good people down here.
And Texas has always been known as a football state, but as I said, basketball's having more and more guys make it to the NBA. You guys are special. 2022 is extremely special, and the list will continue to go on. What do you expect for the future of Texas basketball?
I think it'll eventually get better, because it is a lot of great players down here, and I think we're making a name for Texas.
Without a doubt, man. Well, I was like talking about building a legacy to wrap it up, and by the time you are done playing basketball, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be when you are done playing basketball and for what you do both on and off the court?
I want my legacy to be, like I said, being that one kid from a small town nobody knows about to being a big high major basketball player. That's something I want to be known for, and being, like from my school, I'll be the first one to do it. So that's what I want to be known for.
And as I said, you're going to Kentucky, and that's something that all kids will look up to you, be able to watch you, being able to be coached by Coach Cal. And just talk about Coach Cal real quick. What's he like on the personal level? What's he like talking to him?
I mean, Coach Cal, he's a very cool person, and he's energetic. It's like I don't think every time we get on the phone, there's never a dull moment with him. He always energetic. He likes to have fun. That's basically pretty much him.
That is what I hear about a lot of guys that are recruited by him. And some people might think he is a great all-time coach. And if any coach had the idea of wanting to be stuck up and cocky, he would have the right to doing that. But that's not him. He is humble. He's funny. What's that feel like? Just be able to know somebody you can kind of talk to on the personal level and have fun with.
I mean, that feels real, real great. It's really great to be able to know for him to be the guy that he is because it is people out there that has like a name like he does, but they're really stuck up and cocky, and that's not the way to go. So I think him being the way he is, that's really good.
No doubt, man. My final thing, give Kentucky fans your three biggest goals you have set for Kentucky career.
Um, the national championship, uh, being number one in our in the SEC, and just giving everybody a show every night.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations once again. Appreciate you taking time to come on and good luck this upcoming season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless you too.